Shut up, just shut up, shut up. That's a real song. Oh. Wait. You don't even know that's a song? Oh my god. So your only reference of that song is me? That's horrible.
What's up, everybody? This is Behind the Struggle. It's your boy CEO, and I'm joined by, well, I'll let her speak for herself.
Your girl, Alexia. What's up, what's up?
There we go. So, guys, we're just going to get straight into this. So, today's episode, because we are a hip-hop podcast, is going to be strictly all about hip-hop. So, for those of you who are hip-hop heads, you're going to love that.
I was about to argue with you, but now he's right.
Wow, that's the first time she's actually said that. Guys, we have that on recording. I'm going to play that in a loop and go to sleep to that tonight. It's going to bring me so much peace.
I said he, not you. That's funny.
It's alright. We all know it was directed at me. Anyways, you know, this is small victories you got to take in this world. Alright, that aside, because we're going on a tangent. So, guys, starting off with today, for those of you who may be followers or fans of me, of my music, yes, because I am a rapper. I guess we don't talk about that much here, I guess. Anyways, a couple of years back, I performed for Logic at Comic-Con.
Oh, here we go.
And, you know, there's video of this on the internet.
Okay.
So I use this as a reference point because I used to be a really big Logic fan back in the day. And, you know, when he was coming up with his mixtapes, the Young Sinatra mixtapes, and then his first album, Under Pressure, his second and third album, I enjoyed all those. And then at some point, he fell off to me, and I think he was just putting out too much music too consistently. And to some people that may be like, oh, that's an amazing thing. He's like always putting out. I'm like, yeah, but like it started to sound redundant.
Pause.
Like it was almost like he didn't take a long enough break to like really do something creative or different. Like a lot of the music started to sound very similar. It just sounded like he was running out of things to talk about. Then he faced backlash because Logic is half black, half white. His father's black, and he uses the N-word. And a lot of people gave him shit for that, saying that he's...
Oh, I remember that, yeah. Because he's super, like, albino.
Yeah, you know, he's super, like, he looks like a white dude, you know? But
yeah, like, for being light-skinned or half or whatever, he's super...
Yeah, you know, so that happened. A lot of people made comments saying he shouldn't say the N-word, blah, blah, blah. Joe Button was one of them. And it got to a point where, like, Logic started, like, addressing that more so in his music. And that kind of took up a lot of the content of his music where he was trying to justify it. And I thought it was kind of cringeworthy, just the optics of it. And it turns out, like, Logic then, like, came under, like, a lot of depression because of that. And he actually, like, retired from rap. Like, he, like, stepped away. He had already done, like, 6 albums and, like, 3 years. It was crazy. He was putting out so much work. It was like ridiculous.
Wait, did he retire, or are you just saying that?
No, he officially put out that he had retired.
Really?
And he went to go seek therapy and everything, and he said like he just felt like he wasn't getting the love that he was trying to put out into the game because his whole motto is peace, love, and positivity.
I missed that because I thought his motto was real all the time, Rat Pack, and I thought that he was coming out with songs that were, like, kind of repeating themselves, and that's why he was getting hate. And then it was like he was using freestyles that he had used, like, 5 years ago and made, like, new songs, and everyone was calling him out, and, like, the stress... Sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's what I thought happened.
Well, what you said right there, that was part of it. Whereas, like, he was putting out so much work that he ended up repeating stuff. And it's like, you ask any creative, like, person, you can't just constantly be putting out new stuff. Like, you have to, like, go silent for a while. And, like, you need to live life, create things to make. Because if you're just constantly putting out, you're going to run into the same wall. So it's like...
But I think it's more so not a creative wall, but, like, the fans are kind of just like, what is this? Like, you know... getting tired of you, but I do think that it's possible to have like an archive of like 10 albums up your sleeve that you've been working on and now you get discovered, so now you're putting them out slowly. Like, I think that makes sense.
Well, that makes sense, but here's the catch to that. When you create music, and this is something I've run into myself as an artist, is that when you create a lot of music that's in an archive, you have to remember, like, you created it. Are you good over there?
There's like, I don't know, this shadow, and it looks like not a shadow in the screen, so it looks like there's a bug, but there's no bug behind me, so
Oh.
I'm like freaking out. What is this? There's nothing there. Anyway, do you guys see this on the YouTube channel? What is this?
We don't see anything. Anyways, like I was saying, like having an archive I think is good to be prepared, obviously, but as an artist myself, this is something I've run into. It can also be like a detriment to you because you have to remember that like you're a certain age and you're at a certain mind frame when you're making this music. And there's no way you could predict the future of where the sound of music is going to go. So you could have had songs that you wrote like 10 years ago, and then you put them out now in 2024, but they sound like songs that were made in 2014, so they sound dated. You know, so...
That's true, but only to like sort of a true fan, you know? I don't think anyone else is going to be like, oh my god, unless it was like they're using memes and like slang, which is stupid already, but like...
Well, it's not even that, it's just the evolution of like song structure. Like you could tell, like... When you hear a Drake song from his first album, you could tell the difference from that to the songs he's coming out with now. And it's just like song structure. So like, here's a good example.
Didn't Drake recently do a thing where he like released songs that he said he wrote 10 years ago or whatever, and everyone was going crazy? Or was
I was
that
going to get to
lie?
that.
Oh.
I was going to get to that, but I guess just cut the line.
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking, you guys.
Stop thinking so much. Jesus. So... Anyways, my whole point with Logic, that's kind of what it was. He was using freestyles. He retired. Joe Budden was giving him a lot of crap. And then, but it came out that he was putting out so much work because he was trying to get out of his deal with Def Jam so he can go independent. So he was trying to fulfill the obligation of the 5 or 6 albums he was supposed to put out under them. So that's why he was putting out so much work. Like, he was literally dropping like 2 or 3 albums a year. It was ridiculous. And I was like, bro, like, we don't even have time to digest the first one. It's like, the first album's out, and then it's like 2 months later, here's another one.
Also, can all 3 of them be, like, amazing if that's the case? I don't know.
That's another thing. The only time that, like, in my existence, where that was something that happened, well, I was like, whoa, okay, like, the quality is up there. It's 2 artists I can only think of. DMX, he released 2 albums, his first 2 albums, within the same year. It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Both fucking hip-hop classics, amazing. And when DMX came out the gate, it was amazing. And then Nas, when he just released those 6 albums like in the last 4 years. He won a Grammy, they were all quality, it was good. So my point to that is that not many people can do that and operate on that level. You know, I mean, Drake, you know, since we touched on him a little bit, has also faced the same criticism. People are like, Drake is always like around. He's always dropping. And people feel like he could benefit from taking a break to kind of like take a step back and then really like make a real cohesive body of work instead of what just seems like a best stuff playlist.
Because not that I want to like compare these greats to like Cardi B, but recently, right, there's a bunch of news about people tweeting to Cardi because I guess she keeps procrastinating on her album. I forget the name of it because I don't care. And she actually had to respond to the fans because she was like, I didn't stop. I'm just, you know, it's just taking me a while. Like, I'm not quitting. Like, relax. Because the fans are like, it's been so long since the last one and you promised blah, blah, blah. So, like, did you quit? And it's like a whole thing. So where's, like, the middle ground, right? Like, the fans like are like, you need to take a break because you're, you know, coming in too hot and it's kind of annoying. And then it's like, well, your break is over. I need content now. Like,
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing with like fans in general, whether it be hip hop fans or fans of like Marvel, anything.
Okay,
it's like we want what we want when we want it, and we want it like as soon as possible. And then when it doesn't meet our expectations, it's like it probably would have been best if we just let the artist like let him cook, like let him take his time. That's kind of Kendrick was facing that. When after he dropped Damn, it took him 5 years before he came out with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And everybody was like, oh, he fell off, he's irrelevant, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened? Kendrick came back, won a Grammy, and then people like, that album was whack, Drake gonna kill him, and now everyone's fucking going crazy over Not Like Us, right? So, anyway, my point is, fans are fickle. Like, and something a teacher always taught me is like, don't try to make what you think other people want, because people don't know what they want.
And that's what a lot of artists be doing, honestly.
Yeah. Exactly. They stick to what's safe, and it's at a point where it's like it's become such a profitable business that people are
Oh,
scared to take risks.
yeah.
So like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because that works. Anyways, my point. Back to Logic. He did that, retired, but it came out. He was trying to get out of this deal. Then he came out with an album where he was talking about this therapy that he was dealing with, and he did a song with Rush that I thought was amazing.
When?
This was a couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, thanks. So it was really good, but the album when he was like, like I wasn't really feeling it. So just the other day, over like the last week, I got a suggestion from Apple Music because they gave me a suggestion that Logic's album Ultra 85 had just come out, and I had listened to Logic for a while. Like I was one of those people that thought he fell off. Like I said, I was a big fan, and I was just like, this dude's corny now. So I took a listen to the album, and I have to say it was really good. It was enjoyable listen. He actually felt like he had something to say, and he wasn't trying to prove himself to anybody. It was just like, nah, like here I am. This is me as a person, and these are the things I've been going through. This and I'm you know what? I'm just gonna fuck with the people who fuck with me, like my fans. Like I don't care about trying to please the rest of y'all, and like I don't care about how y'all feel about me saying the N word. Like I don't care. So I say that to say, like, I think he kind of reached a point of liberation instead of let only that pressure get to him, which is kind of ironic because his first album was called Under Pressure. He let all that stuff get to him, but now it's like he realized that, like, you know what, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I got here, I got this far, I'm successful, I'm wealthy, I have a family, like, I don't need to work for the rest of my life. Now I can just do what I want. I don't have to prove anything anymore. So I think he's found a new sense of freedom. So I just want to touch on that with Logic. I thought that was really dope, but I do want to give him his flowers, because I feel like it's easy to kind of kick somebody when they're down, and when they do something good, you're like, whatever, let's see to the next one. But to me, I'm a believer of like when someone does something good, like show appreciation to that, because especially he's been very open about his struggles that he was dealing with.
So are you renewed Logic fan?
I don't know if renewed's the word.
Why not?
But because I don't think like I ever stopped being a Logic fan. I think I just kind of got like tired. Kind of like, all right, here's a good example. All right, so Alexia, you're a big Marvel fan, right? And the recent phase of movies have not been good. We have not seen Wolverine Deadpool yet, so we don't know. But that aside, because all these movies have been bad and you're like, oh my god, I hate the multiverse, are you not a Marvel fan anymore?
No, I'm still a Marvel fan, but
all right, then that's my answer.
Nah, Marvel definitely fell off, and I have no problem being like, I am not behind what Marvel's doing now. They have every chance to come back, and then I would say, yeah, I'm a renewed Marvel fan.
Alright, so then based on that statement or definition that you gave, I guess I'm a renewed Logic fan. That's kind of where I stand with it. Alright, that aside, y'all, another thing that happened that Alexia kind of like spoiled, so spoiler alert, y'all. I know we all talked about, like, how is Drake gonna come back from this, this beef with Kendrick, and Drake literally just dropped.
Episode, not this one.
Well, that's what we're talking about, and people were still saying it. They're like, he just needs to take a break, go be quiet, don't do nothing, because it's just bad out here.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Drake had an opposite strategy and decided to release 100 gigs of music and behind-the-scenes footage of him ghostwriting songs for other artists.
Are you
like
serious?
Kanye West and other people. Yeah, him in the studio.
He doesn't know when to give up, bro. Now he just looks stupid. He already did, but like, he looks.
I will say this: from what I saw on the internet, it actually swayed the court of public opinion. Like, cause he then released like an EP of 3 songs with him, 21 Savage, a couple other people, and people are like, "Yo, like, I don't care what you guys say about Drake or this whole beef, but these songs are fire."
Okay, so in every podcast where we covered any of this, I never said he's not talented. In fact, I said the opposite. He is very talented. So this is what it looks like, though. Like when kids are like arguing on a playground over like tetherball.
Yeah.
And then Drake is the kid that like, starts crying and says like, my shoelace was untied, and everyone's like, but you're standing still. It's tetherball, right? he's the type to like cry even louder and be like, well, I only have one shoelace, and he looks even dumber, and like he's still trying to like backpedal and be like, that's why I lost, and everyone's just like, that has nothing to do with why you lost, like nothing at all, and that's just what he looks like to me.
I mean, that was.
Do you remember Tetherball? Did you play Tetherball? I used to own that game.
Please explain to our listeners what Tetherball is.
Yeah, the younger generations probably don't even know what that is, but do you...
guys, I like how we're like, this is going to be a whole hip-hop podcast, and Alexia's like, you ever play Tetherball?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, we're going to guys. Like I said, I wasn't ready for it. I don't even know what Tetherball is.
You don't know what Tetherball is? Yes, you do. You just don't know the name for it. There's no way. You're literally older than me. There's no way you don't know.
Oh, well then school me. What is it?
You know that game where there was like a pole, and then there was like a volleyball or something on a rope attached to the top of the pole, and you had to hit it and make it wrap around the pole, and the other person was on the other side, and you had to try to wrap it all the way around, and that's how you won?
No.
No way! No way you don't know what that is.
I've seen like that, like baseball or whatever, like on a pole, like with like a string, but I only seen that for little kids.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like a little kid thing where you hit it this way, the ball doesn't go far away, and like you don't have to worry about your kid chasing the ball, like it's attached to the string. That's all I ever thought it was. I didn't know that was like an actual game like that.
Well, it is for little kids, but yeah.
How old are you when you're playing this?
I'm talking. This is what I said in the analogy with Drake. Like all the little kids on the playground. Like I'm talking recess. Back in the day when it was recess.
Back
like
in
this.
the day. I've never seen that in my life. What the hell is that?
Wait, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm born and raised in Queens, New York. I've never seen that shit in my life. What is that?
Guys, don't do this to me. Is this a West Coast game? Like, seriously, is this a West Coast game?
Yeah, all my East Coast people, like, school. Did I miss out on something in childhood?
Okay.
Because I was playing handball, manhunt, soccer, football, baseball, basketball.
Okay,
I never heard about that.
Oh, no, that's a lie. I can't say that. No, I don't know. Tetherball was like a grade school thing. So like after 6th grade, I never saw it or touched it again. But during like elementary school, that shit was like the thing. Like there'd be like 6 courts and like the kids would run to these courts. Like that was what they wanted to do. They didn't want to do no slides, no jump rope, no whatever. Like we was ball is life back.
We was out there. Alexia. We
wow.
was tethering it up.
I guess that was a bad interpretation, but whatever. It could be any sport, right? Like I'm talking about tetherball, but like.
It's funny because when you made your analogy about Drake and the tetherball,
you was like, you know, like when kids are like arguing on a playground over like tetherball.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about, but I was like, I'm gonna just let this rock, so I'm gonna let her get that out of her system. And then
West Coasters, where are you? Help me out in the comments.
Yeah, God. You showed me that photo. I'm like, what the hell? I've never seen that in my life.
Okay, so point in case, I would fucking school you in that game.
Okay, yeah, you probably would. I'll be sitting there like, what is this? Like,
oh my God. Okay, well, anyway, like think of any other game. I don't care, like handball. And then Drake's over here saying like, well, there's gum in my hair. Has nothing to do with the game, honey. And he's like, but it's been in my hair for 2 days. And then everyone's like, what the hell? Has nothing to do with handball. Like, right? Does that help you? Same analogy?
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much. So much clearer for me. Is it clear for you guys listening? I hope it is. Anyways, guys, we learned what tetherball is. We learned that Drake is, trying to
okay, yeah, so he looks
favor.
Like the kid on during recess that everyone they're still playing with him, but they're just like, are you okay? Like, maybe you should get, like, checked.
Probably.
Anyway.
But,
But yes, he is talented, so I don't deny that he did these things for real.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of his way of showing, because obviously the allegations came out that he had ghostwriters that kind of show, like, well, some of your famous best rappers, like, I've written songs for them.
And
so,
that's
like, how come
awesome and admirable, but doesn't really negate you having a ghostwriter, you know what I mean? So
Agree.
It's kind of like, okay, congrats, but you still have people writing for you also. So good for you for writing for Kanye, and that song was awesome. Not taking that away from you, but
yeah, no, I hear you. So yeah, he released 100 gigs of music. He released.
That's also like OD. Like that's worse than Logic's 6 albums in 4 years.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like there are some people that went through all of it, and you know what?
Why?
I don't know. My heart too. I just seen little stuff that's been online. I don't really have the time as an adult to go through 100 gigs of anything, let alone my own
He
stuff.
just said as an adult.
Just saying. So that's kind of where the court of public opinion on Drake is right now. Like people are seeming like happy, and he's teased that he's going to be dropping an album soon, a collab album with him and Party Next Door.
Oh God.
So people are waiting on that, and it seems like he's officially just moved on from the beef. I mean, what else could he do, right? Like re-engage, kind of crazy. So there's
he
that.
Can't do that for sure, but
yeah, but there's also rumors that supposedly, because on those 100 gigs, he released like something like an image where he was taking a shot at J. Cole. So now there's speculation that Drake is now trying to go at J. Cole because he doesn't like the way how J. Cole handled the whole situation when him, Drake, and Kendrick were involved.
Well, yeah, I feel like, I'm the best rapper of all time as long as Kendrick's dead. And then he's like, well, J. Cole was the other person, so Kendrick's over there. I'm scared of him. J. Cole, you're next. Like, you look like a clown, bro.
Yeah, and Drake, don't do it. Don't go at J. Cole, please. J. Cole will body you.
Imagine getting bodied like by two
twice.
People.
I mean, yo, if he gets bodied by Cole, because a lot of people are like, Cole's not in the top 3 anymore, and it would be funny as hell if like Drake, because people still say he's number 2 now because he lost to Kendrick. They're like, oh, Cole can't be in the convo. It'd be hilarious if Drake was like, well, I'm gonna go at Cole, and then Cole whoops him, and then Drake just like on his own accord puts himself in the number 3 slot.
Well, that's exactly what's gonna happen if that's what he does. So if that's what he chooses to do.
Yeah. So that's what happened with Drake. Hope y'all like that for the Drake fans. If you want more, go on IG. Anyways,
was that it?
That's it. That being said, I want to go on to the next thing. We recently covered. Thanks, Alexia. We recently covered Eminem. We talked about Eminem's album that he came out with, The Death of Slim Shady. It's been getting a lot of praise. It's it was the #1 album, lots of streams. The accolades go on and on and on and on about that album. It's great. So, that being said, I don't know if you guys know the rapper Tyler, the Creator.
Yes.
Well, Tyler, the Creator is part of the group Odd Future. He's super talented. But Tyler, the Creator and Eminem had beef. Tyler, the Creator made some comments about Eminem's album Recovery, saying like that it sucked, that it wasn't good, and that Eminem's more recent music isn't good anymore. It lacks like the same edge, and so on and so forth. And Eminem actually came out and dissed Tyler, the Creator, on the album. I think it was Kamikaze. He said something about Tyler, and he called him like the F word that you would call gay people. And because he said that, Eminem then had to put out a public apology saying that, because he felt like what Eminem said, he's like, I wanted to hurt him so bad that I hurt other people who had nothing to do with it by using that word. So recently, Tyler, the Creator, had an interview, and they were asking him about the current state of hip-hop, where he thinks it is, and Eminem came up in the conversation. And Tyler, the Creator, actually had an apology for Eminem. So I'm going to play that here for us really quickly of what Tyler, the Creator, said, and, we'll talk about it.
Okay, and while you do that, what exactly was, like, the time in between these events?
What time of what events?
Well, I guess when Tyler first dissed M, and then obviously OK Kamikaze, what was the time between that? And then the time between, I guess, this interview and whatever sparked it. And if that's Kamikaze, then okay, but...
Okay, so this interview was just recent. This interview just came out this week.
Okay.
Where Tyler was talking about it. And Tyler had made a bunch of comments at Eminem over the years, making tweets and everything. That's why Eminem was kind of thrown off, because Eminem was like, yo, every time I meet this guy's like super nice. I thought he was really cool. And then he goes and trashes me, especially on the Eminem's album Revival. Like, oh, this is the worst shit I ever heard. blah blah blah. So Eminem kind of took offense to it. So that's why Kamikaze, he kind of went at everybody. Then after that, like, he didn't say anything anymore, like dissing Tyler the Creator. He just kind of moved on. No one knew how Tyler felt about the situation. Tyler just, was doing shows, releasing more
Oh, so
albums.
since that album release, it's been quiet about this until now.
Yeah, and Tyler's never addressed it,
Weird.
so it got brought up in this interview. So here's what Tyler the Creator had to say.
I seen this show, I think Painkillers, on Netflix, and it's about like how people got addicted to opioids in like the 90s or whatever. Eminem put out this album called Recovery. It's 2010. I was a big Eminem fan, and when that album came out, I fucking hated it. Hated it. Publicly was like, this shit is whack. Didn't like it. And after watching that show, I felt so bad about those tweets and things like that, because thinking from his perspective, someone like me publicly saying that stuff and him getting off drugs and being clean and getting to a point in his life that's behind him, and me implying like, you need to, no, this shit is what, he probably felt like I was attacking him. And now I feel so bad about saying that stuff because my perspective was so limited. And I love him. That dude taught me how to rap. I learned how to put words together in rhythm because of some of the Eminem stuff I was hearing. So after watching that show, that gave me perspective, and I felt so terrible about some of the things I said about that Recovery album, because I realized that was a big step and meant a lot to him. And my fucking young stupid ass was like, oh, I want to hear the same song and dance, and I love the Eminem show, but like, he's not there anymore. I felt terrible. And if I ever see him, like, I want to tell him that, like, in person.
Tyler the Creator apologizing to M, realizing, and I think that's really big of him to say that, as far as like that, his perspective was limited. I think that's something a lot of people could learn as they grow up. That sometimes how we see things at one point of our life isn't how we constantly see them. And for him to admit that, I think is really big. I think it's super positive, because I think a lot of times we see in hip hop, like, it kind of like they talk shit about each other in front of everybody, but then, they don't say nothing for a couple of years and people just kind of forget about it. So the fact that he kind of made a point to acknowledge that, and that kind of goes back to what you were saying in a couple podcasts before, Eminem, when Alexa, what you were saying about Eminem, well, how it's kind of like, Eminem, like, literally, like, puts it all in his songs, like, his life, like, everything that he is going through. And it's like, even if you don't really agree with it, like, you kind of have to respect, like, how real and honest he's being. So, like, you may lack the maturity and the perspective to, like, appreciate it in that moment. But it's like, understand, like, he's in a different walk in his life. And I think that's really big of Tyler to say that. It's like, yeah, you want this old Eminem, but he can't be that guy, because that guy was on drugs, was out of shape. He was like a completely different headspace. And I think Eminem just celebrated being 18 or 20 years sober.
I think Eminem also addressed that. I don't know if it was like to Tyler specifically, but he was like, you guys want me, you want the old music, you want me back on the drugs. That's kind of fucked up, right? And it's big of Tyler to do that, because I think, especially where they're at, I mean, like, celebrity-wise, I guess, there needs to be an apology, but there also needs to be a public apology. So in a sense, there has to be two. So I don't know if he did a private one to Eminem. It's none of my business. But the public one sort of needed to be done so that this beef or whatever it's not like, oh, it disappeared, it's up under the rug, it's squashed. It's like, no, this is like not beef anymore. Especially because people like Tyler and me would have no idea what it's like to come off of a opioid addiction. Have no idea.
Yeah.
So for us to be like, oh, that sucks because X, Y, and Z, like, it's not even that Eminem was in a different headspace, that's for sure. But that's not, like, the main takeaway. I mean, I think the main one was that, like, he actually sobered up and then made an album and then stayed that way. You know what I mean? So, like, that's a huge feat in itself. Like, I would gladly bet, like, my whole life that, like, if the entire global population became addicted to opioids, less than 50% of them could get off of it. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, so, I mean... And
add to the fact that Eminem is, like, a megastar. He's in the entertainment industry. So imagine, like...
Even harder for him to probably
exactly,
put them
because
down.
there's all that pressure, all that stuff around him. He's in those environments, but that stuff is being passed around as easy access to him. He has the money. it's not like he can't get it, you know.
It's
So
nice
that
too that
takes a
Tyler
different
was
level of
like
control.
watching a documentary and like years later, and then he thought about Eminem like sort of in passing, and was like, oh damn, like I was young and I was rude, and that's crazy. Um, but and I mean, Eminem did the same thing, right? When he was like apologizing for using that word because of what he said, and then now we have Tyler doing this, and even back to the Drake thing when J. Cole like pulled back and deleted the song, the diss that he made. We're now starting to see celebrities like not even recanting, but like apologizing and taking back what they said, as opposed to like doubling down and just being an asshole because it's already out there, like most celebrities and probably most people would actually do. So I kind of like, I mean, not that I want like this hippy dippy like liberal world, absolutely the fuck not, but I kind of like how the celebrities are like, I'm an adult and I'm like, you know, a grown human being. So like, I messed up and that's okay. And I'm sorry. And that's kind of how, you know, how apologies work. It's more like, you know, the apology, like the words, and then like changed behavior. So, I mean, that's nice. I'm glad Tyler did that.
Yeah, same. And I just hope that because of this, maybe behind the scenes they talk, and maybe on Tyler's next album or even M's next album we hear a collaboration between the two. I think that'd be really dope to see that. Because you could definitely tell Tyler the Creator was super influenced by Eminem. Because
Well, who wasn't?
Tyler Creator's early work resembles like that Marshall Mathers LP era. Like in the beginning, Tyler the Creator, they used to compare him and Hobson a lot. And you can hear Hobson's Eminem
Hobson
influence
for
like ran all
sure.
over the board.
Yeah.
But Tyler the Creator was like that in the beginning of his career. It was so evident,
Okay.
like the Eminem influence. So Tyler's obviously evolved as an artist and has like grown in different ways as a musician. So I think it'd be dope for him and Eminem to kind of work together on maybe two different songs. One like harkening back to that old Slim Shady era, or like the horrorcore rap, where it's like more like hip hop horror, where that Eminem used to do, and maybe something with like Tyler the Creator's like production and, you know, elevation of a song. I think it'd be really dope to just kind of see how that would be,
I'm
because
not saying
Tyler's
I'm-
super talented.
I'm not saying I'm necessarily against that, but I also definitely don't think we need all these rappers to like apologize to each other by collabing every time.
No, I don't think, you know, oh, do we need them to collaborate, you know, so they can apologize. Not at all, but I'm just speaking as a fan. I would love to hear that. Like, I would love to hear Tyler the Creator and Eminem together.
Well-
and so, instead of being like, well, they had beef, they apologize. I never want to hear them on the song, though. Ever. God forbid
No,
I hear
again,
that.
not saying that's a horrible, horrible idea, but Eminem influenced a lot of rappers, like a lot.
Okay.
And not just influenced, like heavily influenced. So like, how many times are we going to be like, yeah, I want you to collab with Eminem because that'd be dope? Because all that really is Eminem is still sticking his neck out to prove himself to all the fans, no matter how many times he's done it. And then whoever he's clubbing with, they get a chance to sort of be in, like, let's say, the Rap Olympics and step up their game and be, like, even blessed to be on the same track with M. And then they get to ride that wave for the rest of their career, whether or not they do great after that. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I'm not saying no, but, like, it's sort of like, at this point, because Eminem is the GOAT, he's, like, doing them a favor by doing that. And not to try to sound cocky or whatever, like, he, you know, is, like, a rap god, pun intended. But it's kind of like, we don't need that. Like, I mean, unless Eminem's out here doing charity work all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like...
Well, all right. I will say, I get your point, but I will say, I think him doing a song with Tyler, the Creator, is definitely not charity work. Tyler has won Grammys. He's had #1 albums. He's super relevant. Like, he showed up at Kendrick's pop-out show where he performed Not Like Us like 6 times, and the whole crowd went crazy. So for me, personally, I would like to hear M do a song with Tyler, the Creator, more than I would like to hear him do a song with that guy Toby or Easy Mill. Like, these are guys we don't even know of at all. Like, they're not even established rappers. That's cool. That's amazing for Eminem. I feel like that's charity work. But to me, it's like, if Eminem comes out and does a song with J. Cole, or does a song with Big Sean, or Kendrick or Jay-Z or Nas or whatever, that's not charity work at this point. To me, it's like, oh, this is a dream match. Like, we've wanted this for so long, finally.
You're taking that one sentence, that one word I said, and like running with it, and that's not exactly the point.
I'm with the Olympics now.
Oh. Well, we can talk about the Olympics, but
But go ahead, finish your point.
It's, again, nothing against Tyler, and he is super creative, and he's up there. He's not like a, oh, whatever rapper. But again, whether, you know, Big Sean, J. Cole, Tyler the Creator, or one of these no names that Gen Z rappers that we don't know, all of them, like I said, they're getting a chance, right, to be on a track with M. They have to step their game up. So it's almost like it's got to be the best thing that you... Wow. That was a hiccup. The best thing that you've ever written.
What happened?
Yeah, that was weird. Or it's going to sort of like help like catapult your career a little more, depending on like where you're already at. But again, not that that shouldn't happen. I'm just saying, like, every time someone, like, has beef with M or apologizes to him, I don't think M should do a track with them. But, yeah, do one with Tyler. Cool. But, like, we can't keep, you know, like, Eminem can't keep making people, like, more famous just by, you know, beefing with him. Like, leave him alone in that sense.
No, I get what you're saying with that. But I would say, like, as far as, like, the list of people... Eminem has beefed with, I don't think any of them are like that. I would view them as like, oh, this guy was really talented though. Like, I would like to see him go again, do a song with Eminem. Like, he bodied MGK. I'm not like, yo, man, y'all should make up and make a song together. Two white guys rapping their ass off. Like, I don't need that. Yeah, you know, like, I don't need Eminem and Ja Rule to get back together. I don't need Eminem and Benzino to, like, do a track. Hell no. I don't need him and Britney Spears, him and Moby or NSYNC.
Yeah, and I didn't say that you said that, but, like, this seems to be, like, a general theme where people are like, wow, like, you dissed Eminem. Like, Eminem, what do you have to say? Because I really want to hear because you're such a good rapper. And then he bodies them, and then it's like, wow, he killed you. LOL. You guys should do a track together. Like...
Yeah, okay, you know? I see what you mean. It's like, we want to pitch you against each other. It's almost like going back to what we were saying before, like the fans being fickle.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fight, make us entertain. Now dance together. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Well said.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, if there was a rap Olympics, Eminem would kill.
Yo, it's funny you said that because Snoop Dogg actually said that. He said that if the rap was an Olympic sport, like the three people he would get would be Rakim, Queen Latifah, and Eminem. And I'm like, bro, I love Rakim and I love Queen Latifah, but just put them to the side. All you need, yo, don't do that. No, don't do that. I thought it was gonna be another McLight incident over here.
No.
The way you're like Queen Latifah.
I was like, what? Okay, Snoop.
You know, but Eminem alone, come on, bro. That dude's like just buying everybody. Yeah. I'm sorry, like. Love Rakim. Also, no shade to Rakim, but it came out that Rakim was also dealing with a pretty bad porn addiction.
What? Why is that in our podcast?
I'm just saying. I'm just bringing it up. It's hip hop, you know, and it kind of threw me off because Rakim's one of like the forefathers of rap. You know, I mean, I think it's cool that like he came out with it to be that kind of transparent, but. Basically saying that, like, yeah, he was struggling with it, like, it caused a lot of problems in his marriage, and, you know, he was basically, like, you know, being his schmeat, like, 10 times a day, which is crazy. But,
I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know how we got here.
Look at Alex's face. Guys, I want everybody to, like, just take a moment, look at Alex's face, because look at how uncomfortable she is.
Nah.
Look at her.
Why are we talking about this?
Yeah, he looks so uncomfortable.
It's not uncomfortable. I'm just like, this is kind of inappropriate, and I don't care. And what the hell? We were just talking about the Olympics, and now we're talking about Rakim beating his meat. I don't even know what Rakim looks like, and I'm not about to Google him now.
I'm about to pull him up for you.
Nah, you're not.
I'm gonna pull him up holding his schmeat. Not joking.
Wow.
Nah, all right. So let's go get off that. I remember seeing that as an article.
Fucking pervert.
Oh man.